Good morning, and I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. I certainly did. Lindsay gave me some amazing flamingo things, and I got roses from my son. I got lilacs, which is my favorite. I don't know if it's a flower, it's a bush, tree, whatever. And that's when I could smell it. Reminds me of home. So, last week what we made was, I'm going to do 2 of Barbara Jones's fabric. This is, I think this is called Quilt Camp. And this is her cute little bead of bugs, okay? So, you do your casing, you serge it, you put right sides out. Then what you did was your 3-inch prairie points. Okay, where did I put that little gooby? I put things away too well on myself, guys. Okay, so you did your 3-inch prairie points. I know they look really big. Then what you do is you first of all put your 3-inch prairie points and you pin them I start with my side seam and I pin them all the way around, starting with the prairie point right where the side seam starts. And I know you're not supposed to put pins in your row, but I do. And I'm a pin queen, as you know. Oh, today I'm giving away a digital pattern for this. So please comment for this. It's cute and quick, or quick and cute. I don't remember the name of my patterns. Also, it's my 10-year anniversary of being in business. So everything is 20% off.
Even the kits.
Even the kits. So, please enjoy the 20% off. 10 years, long time. And it's been a journey. It's been amazing. And I thank you for making it the journey that it has been. And it's been a lot of fun, a lot of work. And I thank the good Lord that it's been as good as it's been. And you. Okay, so you pin it all the way around. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's going to end exactly where you started at the seam allowance. So I'm going to pin it here. And of course there's stretch. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pinning, pinning, pinning. But you want to make sure that the stretch fits all of this. So let's stretch it just a little bit. These are so cute. When you give these away, everybody thinks they are the cutest. And when I do shows, everybody goes, "Are those for sale?" And they're my samples. I can't tell you how many pillowcases I have made in my life. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And once again, pillowcases to me mean love. Because, well, that's the day and age my grandmother was brought up. She kind of cringed when you hugged her. Well, more than kind of cringed. She was not exactly the most warm and fuzzy person I've ever met in my life. And I was kind of like the type, "Oh, I'll sit in your lap and oh, come hug me, kiss me." And she was like, "Get her out of my lap." But she sure was amazingly talented. So you just pin this on, keep going, going, going. Like I said, there's stretch. Okay, there we go, girlers and guys, whoever's watching. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it on. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to change my foot. I'm using my 830 Bernina, and I use my walking foot, and I'm probably just going to use my 97D because I want my IDT on, which is basically like a walking foot, but it's better because it's incorporated into the sewing machine. So I'm just going to do not even a 1/4 inch, more like 1/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to sew all the way across here. And of course, hold the stretch. Also, I'm going to make some kits of the quilt camp and the cute little bugs. I haven't figured out, or I don't figure it out. Lindsay and Brian figure it out how much they are. I don't have a clue, honey. That's not something I do well. And I know you're not supposed to sew over pins. But guess what? I do anyways. Also, what you want to do is I changed it in to a 90 needle because you're going to be going through a lot of layers. You just want a heavier duty needle. So that's what I did. So you take this out and it's going to look like this. One time I got really tired. In fact, I taught a class and I wasn't reading my own directions. And I had them put the little frilly thing on once and I went, oh my gosh. And that's after I did 5 shows in a row and I'm thinking, okay, stupid. That was one of the dumbest things. I've done a lot of dumb things in my life. Then because this is directional, you want to make sure that you have it going the right direction when you're going down because you're going to have to go, okay. You don't want to have to take it off once you put it on. Okay, what I did with this was you cut 2 of them. Okay, so it'd be the width of fabric, so it'd be 80 inches. I cut out the 18 inches of it. You can have it as full as you would like. I don't like it quite as full. Do whatever works for you. Then what I do is I do the side seam, okay, which is here. Then I do it in half. Then what I do is when I get to this point, then I go like this. So I have it in 4ths because I don't want it to look so gathery in spots and not gathery in spots that it looks kind of funky. I want it even. This is probably from my days of garment sewing, I'm sure. And honey, when you're 4'8", when you enter high school, you do a lot of garment sewing. And then God had some big tatas. So I'll tell you, I had to make everything. It was really quite fun. Okay. So then I matched my side seam. Okay. Before I did this, I always gather it. You can do it the 2 gathering stitches like you were taught 100 years ago in school. Or grandma, whoever taught you. Or you can go to your sewing machine, and what I do is I'll go from here to the halfway point. You take your stitch length to a 6, and then you do your, my mind just went blank as a rock. You take your what is it called, Lindsay?
Tension.
Your tension, correct, thank you. Take your tension to 8 or 9. If your thread breaks or it comes undone, bring it back to an 8, 8.2, something like that. Okay, and it'll automatically gather. It's quite amazing. And all you have to do, just make sure both threads, the bobbin and the top, are out when you do this so that it can gather it. It'll gather it as you start also. It's awesome. And it's one-stop shopping. I like to do everything quickly and simple. It's so in my brain that I don't think while I do it. So then you have it all set. So then what I do is I match the side seams. And like I said, I do from half to half, half to half. Okay, then what I do is put this and match the side seams. Okay. Then I match the half. And you already know where the half is because it's already ironed and yada, yada, yada. So you're there. Then, all you have to do to match the centers, you've already got the centers from the other thing. So you go like this, and you match it to here. And then it doesn't look all, I don't like it when there's parts of it that looks undone and parts of it that's not. Do whatever works for you, but this just drives me wacko, so I got issues, and I know I do. It's probably from Grandma checking everything I did too. And making me rip it out, rip it out, rip it out. And I don't like to do things twice because she made me do things twice. And then remember, you want to check to make sure that the directions are going the right way. Make sure you comment so that you can win a free pattern. And remember, 20% off, and it goes till Saturday midnight. Okay? Then what you do is you take, and all you have to do is take and your little, just gather it in between. And make sure it's nice and even. But it's awesome. What an easy way to do it. Because when we had to do the 2 threads, it just took extra time. And I'm all into time saving, but it still has to look amazing. Then I do it from the other side, move it all in. Then what you do is you put it, okay, I got one done. Okay, where did I do that one? Okay, that's this. Got that on there. And I got, okay, put it somewhere, guys. Nope. Well, you just put it on and then you sew it all the way around. And just sew the 1/2 inch seam all the way around. That's all you have to do. I know I have one. I did it somewhere, girls and guys. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I sewed it all the way around. I did a 1/2 inch seam all the way around. Okay. Then it looks like this. Then I just ironed it flat, and I serged it before I ironed it. If you have a serger, rock and roll, it's all serged. I got a serger when Lindsay was 2.5 because remember, everything's got to look the same on the inside as it does the outside because Grandma made me French seam everything I had. Okay. So, here we go here. So far so good. It looks really cute. Then you want to do this part. Okay? Remember, you don't want any raw edges on this. So remember the little flipper guy, which is on this? You have to have it on the start and the finish. Then you want to use fray check on every corner of these. The other one's going to be buried underneath because you put this on top. Okay? So just keep going, going, going. Homemade spray starch, guys. And remember, it's 1/3 vodka to 2/3 distilled water if you have hard water. I said that incorrectly on the thing. I got so excited to show you. Always make sure your folds are going the same direction, or Grandma will come from heaven and slap you. Use a little glue, because as we get more mature, once again, we get smarter, we hope. And then we use fray check. And you want to make sure you put fray check on every little corner because you don't want it to fray. Fray check is awesome. I've used it for years and years and years and years and years. Okay. Then what you want to do, once you have this all done, once again, I start at the side seam. There it is. And what you want to do is make sure you put this like that. So on every little where it goes, you want to make sure that it meets right here. And you want to cover up the seam right there, so when you're done, it looks like this. Okay, then what I do is I glue this before I sew it. Okay, remember, you want to have no raw edges, so when you do both sides, there's no raw edges on either side. So you do your little flipper on both sides. And you want to cover up that seam, so you're going to glue. So before I sew it, I glue everything.
What type of glue are you using?
I use Jalili's Apple Glue. Love it, love it, love it. I try everything before I use it. It's just like when I used to do hair. I only use specific colors. I'm really picky on what I use. I try everything before I make my decision. I did hair for many, 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 many moons. And I don't like things that make your hair raw. I'm very specific on things I use. Because and make sure that you fold this stuff in so there aren't any raw edges showing. We sell it online. Actually, I met her in Houston, let me think, probably 7 years ago now. And she lived 2 miles from my house. And I ordered 100 bottles, and she said, "Where do you want me to ship it?" I said, "Highland, Utah." She goes, "I live in Highland too." And now we're really, really good friends, and she designs fabric for Riley Blake, and I buy a lot of her fabric. It's really cool. It's a small world. You realize that when you get into this world. And it's amazing. I've met some amazing, amazing, amazing people that will be lifelong friends forever. And I feel so blessed that I got into this business. And you glue it. And you just use your little thing. And you just keep going, 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 going. You just glue it as you go along. Make sure it's just right there and it covers up every little thing that you want it to do. And I just think it's the cutest pillowcase, and it doesn't take that long. I love beautiful pillowcases. I absolutely love them. It's a really cool gift. It's a beautiful wedding gift if you do it fancy. It's a beautiful shower gift. They're just pretty. Then what you do is you just keep gluing, gluing, gluing. And then after I get done gluing everything, then I take it to the sewing machine and I just sew. I raise the stitch length to about a 3, and then I just sew right along the edge all the way around this whole thing. All the way around on both sides, and voila, you have one cute pillowcase. And if you have any questions, ask me. And it's so cute. This is my 3-inch, my 1.5 inch, and what a cute pillowcase. So let me do the drawing. And this is going to go to my granddaughter. She's got a car named Jarvis.
Oh, sorry, one more.
What, honey?
One more.
Okay. And then I'm going to make her a quilt to match, so she's got something in case she needs... We live in snow country, so... Remember 20% off till Saturday at midnight, everything. And thank you for having me be 10 years in business. I feel so blessed. Let me see who won. Kathy King. Please email Lindsay your email address so we can send you a digital copy of this pattern. And thank you for watching. And God bless. And we'll see you next week.